Welcome back to a brand new video. You're watching SFon82. I am Scotty. You can call me Scott, call me whatever you would like, just as long as you hit that like button on the way in. I would be eternally grateful. This week, we're taking a bit of a departure from the adult erotica in comics because I wanted to shine some light on an American cartoonist who I really felt like did an amazing job, an amazing talent, has worked for decades in underground comics. And I wanted to shine some light on their works this week. This week, we're going to be talking about artist Peter Bagge, so I hope that you'll stick around.
Peter Bagge is an American cartoonist. Some of his best-known works include Neat Stuff and Hate. Neat Stuff I mentioned in my last video about Dennis P. Eichhorn. Hate is a series that continues to come out from Fantagraphics, having came back in 2024 in a 4-issue series titled Hate Revisited. His stories often use black humor and an exaggerated cartooning style to dramatize the reduced expectations of middle-class American youth. Peter Bagge was born on December 11th of 1957 in New York City. His father was in the military, and Bagge has talked about how his Catholic household was the scene of lots of drunken fights about money. We were the weirdo outcast kids of the neighborhood. I couldn't get away fast enough. Bagge was confirmed as a teenager. His confirmation name is Peter Christian Paul Bagge, with Paul being an homage to Paul McCartney. Moving to New York City in the mid-1970s, Peter Bagge would attend the School for Visual Arts for 3 semesters in 1977 before dropping out to work on Punk magazine. He began his comic career in New York City during the early 80s. He contributed to various underground newspapers as well as pornography magazines. From 1980 to 1981, Bagge co-published the all-comics tabloid Comical Funnies with former staffers of Punk magazine, including John Holdstrom. Bagge sent copies of Comical Funnies to Robert Crumb, who published some Bagge strips in an anthology that Crumb was editing called Weirdo. Bagge would contribute to many issues of Weirdo magazine going forward, mostly illustrating stories written by Dave Carino. In 1984, Crumb passed on the editorial reins of Weirdo to Bagge, who edited it for 3 years and 1 guest issue in 1989. In 1985, Bagge entered into a long professional association with alternative comics publisher Fantagraphics, beginning with his first solo series, Neat Stuff. This would introduce some of Peter Bagge's characters, such as Girly Girl, Studs Kirby, Junior, the Bradleys, and Buddy Bradley. Neat Stuff would run until 1989. Its sequel series, Hate, is Bagge's best-known series. After ending Hate as a regular title, Bagge has produced a series of Hate annuals between 2000 and 2010. Bagge created and wrote an all-ages comic for DC Comics called Yeah, about an all-girl rock band, drawn by Gilbert Hernandez. It ran for 9 issues in 1999 and 2000. Sweatshop, published by DC Comics in 2003, was produced, unlike early issues of Hate, with the help of an art team. The series ran for 6 issues. Starting in 1998, in a piece for Detail magazines originally, he did a number of comic journalism stories on topics such as politics, Miss America pageant, bar culture, Christian rock, and the Oscars, mostly for Suck.com, which is an online magazine which itself focused on the same topics of politics, etc. In 2002, Peter Bagge got the opportunity to do his own version of Spider-Man for Marvel Comics. He would follow this with a Hulk comic, which was completed but never released due to a management change at Marvel at the time. In 2009, the incorrigible Hulk was finally released in serialized form for the Marvel Knights imprint's Strange Tales miniseries. From 2005 to 2007, Bagge worked on Apocalypse Nerd, a comic published by Dark Horse Comics about 2 average urban males dealing with the aftermath of a nuclear attack on the Pacific Northwest. Other Lives is a graphic novel written and drawn by Bagge and published by DC Comics on their Vertigo imprint in 2010. Reset is a 4-part comic book miniseries written and illustrated by Bagge and published by Dark Horse, about a washed-up middle-aged actor who agrees to take part in the development of a computer application that allows him to relive his life in a virtual sense. Released in April of 2012, it was collected into a book that same year. Starting with the February 2009 issue, Discover Magazine had featured a continuing series of history and science comic strips created by Peter Bagge. Bagge's comics feature key characters and events from scientific history. Bagge is the subject of the first volume of Tomorrow Publishing's new comic introspective series of books published in 2007. Peter Bagge Conversations, a collection of interviews with Bagge spanning 3 decades, was published in 2015 by the University of Mississippi. His graphic novel biographies include Woman Rebel, about birth control advocate Margaret Sanger, Fire, about writer Zora Neale Hurston, and Credo, about author and political theorist Rose Wilder Lane. In 2003, Bagge became a contributing writer with the libertarian magazine Reason, in whose pages he has published both prose and comics pieces over the years. 2009 saw the release of a collection of Bagge's Reason work called Everybody is Stupid Except for Me and Other Astute Observations. A second edition was released in 2013. This past year, we got the return of Bagge's classic fantagraphic series Hate, this time called Hate Revisited. It was a 4-issue miniseries and was highly entertaining. Bagge's signature elastic kinetic art style is a product of his love for 1940s Warner Brother cartoons, especially those directed by Bob Clampett. Bagge said that he always wanted to capture that sense of movement and exaggeration in a static format. In retrospect, this sounds like a futile thing to attempt, but I think I wound up pulling it off better than I ever thought I could, Bagge said. So what do you think of Peter Bagge? Were you familiar with any of his works? Is it something you are into yourself or would ever want to check out? Let me know in the comments, and be sure you hit that like button if you learn anything from today's video. I want to give a big shout out to the channel members. We have 15 channel members, and I really appreciate all of your support. The money goes straight to a fund that helps new people in recovery trying to straighten their lives out with the basic essential things that they may need. So I gratefully appreciate all of the help from the channel members.
And I'm very grateful for all of you that came back to check out this week's video. I really do appreciate it. I love putting these videos together. I always learn something myself, and all of these amazing artists and writers are just so much fun to read about and learn about. And I hope that you learned something. If you did, please hit that like button. I do new videos every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So we'll see you again this time next week. Peace.